Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 116 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I'm hanging out in my base, which is now powered by withers. Well, not exactly, but sort of. Last two episodes we've been working on this cool contraption, yoink, right there. This is my automated wither spawning and killing chamber, and the way it works is really cool. I'm so excited about it because it's just a lot of fun. We've got a level emitter set to emit a level when there's 15 or more nether stars in the system. It'll turn on a timer, which is set to a 1-minute delay, which will spawn a wither. And then meanwhile, our interdiction matrix here, which is basically a security system, is set to automatically kill any hostile mobs in its radius. And its scale module gives it a big enough radius to make sure to encompass everything inside this room. That's right. So we're going to basically be automatically killing the withers. We collect the nether stars with a crazy contraption behind the scenes here. We've got this kinetic attractor, which can pull anything from inside that room, which then gets sucked right past a vacuum hopper, which has a long enough radius and a strong enough pull to pull it away from the kinetic attractor and straight into the from the vacuum hopper into the ME interface, drops it in the AE system, and this will guarantee that we always have enough nether stars in the system. Once we've gone ahead and done that, it's time to use those nether stars for power. So where did we do that? Well, we did it downstairs in our power plant rooms. If we go down here, I think we did it one lower, and there we go. We wanted to make sure to keep this room nice and far away from everything. The reason being is that nether star generators actually do quite a bit of damage to any players nearby, or any entity for that matter. What this thing is set to is do an export config of 1 nether star, and then we've got an item shifter set up to automatically pull the nether stars out. I think I'm going to need the factorization thing, what's it called, to show you this. I always forget the name of this thing. Logic Matrix Programmer, that's it. I remembered it before I even looked it up. So Logic Matrix Programmer, just snag one of those guys. We'll see that he's set to export an exact amount when a redstone pulse occurs. And it pulls it and drops it into the nether star generator. Cool. We've also got this state cell set to 2 minutes. A little bit more than 2 minutes, because the nether star generator runs for 2 minutes. So whenever it receives a redstone signal, this thing keeps it so that it doesn't actually pull any more nether stars until a full 2 minutes and 5 seconds has passed. So that prevents it from wasting nether stars. And then of course we've got our comparator here set to detect the amount of energy in the redstone, or the resonant energy cells here. When they drop to a very low level, it'll trigger a redstone signal. Both of them need to trigger and both need to be low, because one nether star can fill 2 full resonant energy cells. Cool. So what are we going to do with all this power? Well, you know, I've been showing you guys different ways to get resources. We've had the Uber Miner, and we've also had the Alveary. But there's another resource that, while I could go ahead and work towards breeding bees for it, we've kind of already worked on bees, and it would be cool to just show you another way to get resources. This one, though, while it basically fabricates resources out of nothing, is extremely power costly. So we're going to set up something really cool from MFR. But before we do that, we're going to need to get a few resources that we don't have, nor do we even have access to make at this point. So first off, what we're going to need to get is a slaughterhouse. So this is all going to be MFR based. Let's go ahead and take a look at the slaughterhouse. This thing's pretty crazy. We're going to need an Invar gear, and we're going to need a couple Invar swords. 1, 2, and it looks like we're out of sticks because we never have enough sticks. So let's just get 64 of those guys. 1, 2, and that might be enough to make the slaughterhouse. Close. We need a machine frame. So let's just request 10 of those while I'm at it, because they're easy enough to make. Cool. So the slaughterhouse here, where are we going to put this? That's a really good question. Do I have anything in here that counts as an animal? What are my mob selector options? Dun 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 dun. Slimes, blazes, villagers, Thaumcraft pecks. I don't want to stand right on the edge of that field. That's annoying. Not really much. So let's hit back to our main menu here. Wish there was a way to turn off that annoying message. I'll figure something out later. Let's go... what do I have by way of safari nets? I've got sheep. Ooh, that's a good call. Yeah, we've got a pair of sheep, actually. I could probably set up a mob spawner. So let's do that real fast. We'll set up an auto spawner. How many resources do I have here? So for the auto spawner, I'm going to need a couple magma creams. 1, 2. Perfect. And it looked like I needed another plastic sheet. Ta-da! And I've got the sheep, so that's what we're going to use for our slaughterhouse here. So this should be a pretty quick and easy setup for this build. It doesn't even need to be like permanent. I just need this to run a short while, and I'll show you what it's going to be all about. Let's see. Where do I want to put this thing? That's the real question. I like this setup here. I don't want to move my witchwood farm setup. It could be a pretty small system, so I could do it right here actually. So let's set our slaughterhouse down, and let's see if I can get that range detector dude. Precision sledgehammer. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good range on that slaughterhouse. Cool. So I could probably even, let's just do this. Put it right outside the farmland here, just because it'll look nice like that. And let's get some kind of thing that'll prevent those. Let's do this. What do we got in here? Do I have any over here? Dun 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 dun. I want to see if I have any of those warding stone things. I've got 12 paving stones of warding. I always just kind of like using them. Let's see if I can get a few more. I'm going to make a few more of these, and then we'll be right back to go ahead and set up this little sheep farm area that I'm going to need for a minute. Alright, I think that should cover me, right? No sheep can get out of here. Then we'll just want the spawner right there. Alright guys, so here's the deal. We're going to want, right underneath this nifty thing, to have just a regular old tesseract. Boom. Set to main power plus mob essence, and you should be on the receiving side of that, just for liquids and items. So check. And cool. No mob essence? Where's all my mob essence? You should be receiving mob essence. We're not out of it by chance, are we? I didn't think so. I wonder if we're having a problem over here. Door open. Nope, this is fine. I don't think it needs to have a spawner in it for mob essence to show up. Receiving fluid and energy on main power and mob essence. Alright, let me troubleshoot that real quick. Alright, it might be crazy, but it might be frequency 2 that needs to be set to. Oh, hey, there we go. Hello, sheep. How are you? Cool. So now that we've got them going on, we can go ahead and turn on our slaughterhouse, which we're going to need just a little bit of power for. So let's get some redstone energy conduits right here. And we'll also want some fluid ducts and some kind of tank. I'm thinking 2 tanks. I happen to have 2 open block tanks, and those guys are always a good time. So let's just grab them because that's what we have handy. So let's do this. First things first. Lots of sheep, as you can see. Let's get power hooked into the slaughterhouse. So the slaughterhouse, kind of different from the grinder. The slaughterhouse is more about for farm animals as opposed to, you know, enemies. Like, you can obviously use the grinder on both, but as you can see, the slaughterhouse is going to quickly take care of your stuff there, and it'll get you 2 things. It'll get you meat, a liquid form of meat, and pink slime. So the nice thing about this meat product is you can make it into food. So obviously, if you wanted to, you could get you know, food out of pigs and sheep and cows and all kinds of cool stuff. So you can see here, obviously you can use it as a biogas engine fuel if you really wanted to. You could get a little bit of power out of that thing. But you can also get a raw meat block, which will get raw meat ingots, all kinds of cool fun stuff, which you can then craft into meat nuggets, or you can smelt into cooked meat ingots and do all kinds of weird things with. So long story short, you can have a little bit of fun with the meat. But what we're after today is not the meat. We are after pink slime. So let's pipe this stuff out of here. So I'm thinking maybe just throw, I didn't want these tanks connecting though, so this is actually just a little awkwardly positioned. Let's do this. Let's try here and here, and then we can do this. Well, that went to there. That's meat. So let's do this. We already got pink slime in there. All right, let's do this then. Get this stuff broken for a minute. I'll fix this. Hold on, I got an idea. Because we're going to get tons of meat. It's really the pink slime that we're after. So how can I drain this real easily? I kind of didn't want these two connecting, and I did that as a little bit of a derp. There we go. So tank is empty, you're good there. Once I have this thing connected correctly, so now there's pink slime in the fluid duct, and then it should go into there. Cool. And that can go there. So we've got a little bit of pink slime in there, and we've got some meat there. So let's give this a few minutes to finish running, and we'll be right back. By the way, one of the cool things about open blocks tanks is they're kind of multi-blocks, and they can automatically adjust and do something cool like this. Ta-da! And it rebalances itself. Ta-da! Neat, right? So that'll just give us a little bit more storage. I might even grab one more just so we can have a nice 2x2 for that liquid meat. So obviously you get way more liquid meat than you do pink slime from this process. So how did you get out there? Get back inside where you belong. Oh yeah, Kirby hat unlocked. How'd you get out there? Oh, these sheep. Pretty sure my spawner has a larger radius than the actual spot that I have them spawning in, so, or they might actually be spawning on top of the paving stones and then getting pushed out. No big deal. So it looks like we might have a bucket's worth of slime. So let's see. Snag a bucket. Do I have a bucket's worth of pink slime yet? Oh, so close. 880. Come on now, pink slime. Let's go. Back in a minute. There we go, 1040. Awesome. So scoop up a bucket's worth of pink slime, and now we are ready to spawn a slime. We're going to want to figure out a nice safe place to do this. I'm not entirely sure where I want it to live. I want to make sure it's a spot. Oh, I have an idea. Well, I was going to throw it in there, but I don't really want that to be the case. I want it to be somewhere a little bit more locked off and safe. Let's grab... Do I have a handy amount of ethereal glass? I do. Let's put this, because it's only temporary, right in here. This is by no means a permanent structure, but it's just going to manage to accomplish what we want to accomplish. So here's what happens. When you put this pink slime bucket in the world, like so, it's going to sit there and be happy. When a certain random chance occurs, we're going to get a pink slime. So we're going to go ahead and get a safari net ready to capture that guy, because I'm going to want to be able to spawn them on demand. So I want to have one that's ready to do what I want it to do. So, safari net reusable, ready to go. I'll leave the sheep spawner running for a few minutes because I wouldn't mind having just a little bit more pink slime, and hey, maybe we'll do something fun with the meat blocks, who knows. Alright, so now, unfortunately, I get to just kind of... Hey, where'd you go? Hey, there he is, he spawned. Cool, when I wasn't looking. Awesome. So I've got a nifty little pink slime here. Come here, buddy. You're with me. He's really small, though. I wonder if I can use the slime embiggening serum. Let's check that out. So slime embiggening serums are pretty cool. Slime embiggening syringe. So we're going to need an empty syringe, which I might even be able to make just with what I got here. I'm going to make 2 of them. 1, 2. And then all we need is slime balls and lappies. So we can get slime embiggening syringes. And what we should be able to do, if I place that little dude, come back here, you. Will you please embiggen? Oh yeah, now we're talking. Hey there. Nice to see you. Yoink. Is there a larger size? I think there's one more. I don't know for sure, but we're going to find out. Oh, no, he got too big. Alright, come here, you. One more embiggening. I just want to make I want to grab one that's at max size. Thank you. And you guys, I will catch you all later. Nice. So the reason I wanted the max size one, I'll tell you in a minute here. If we ever wanted like a lot of these slime balls, and I'm going to turn this thing off for the time being, so let's grab a lever. That was a lot faster than I've seen in the past. I think I just got really lucky with my random chance there. Alright, that's off, so no more of you. Or you know what? No, I'll leave this on. This is the one I'll disable. There we go. No more spawning of sheep. You can continue to kill sheep all you want. Alright, so the reason I wanted to have one that's fully embiggened, ooh, raw meat nuggets, nice, and slime plant seeds, awesome, is that if we set the mob spawner to copy metadata, so we, you know, the same way we can have the exact same villager, or the same way that we would do it if we wanted to have wither skeletons, for example. So let's go to our mob selector here. If we set it to exact copy yes, it'll always be the same size of the slime, so it'll always be large sizes. But I'm going to set it to no, just in case I ever want it to be yes. Just so happens that my range is terrible there. So I think all I should have to do now is insert my safari net with pink slime in it. If I built this program correctly, this should be super easy. So if I hit, I'll just toggle exact copy. There we go. Nice. So we've got a slime in there. So we'll say, you know what, I'll say exact copy yes. Why not? That's fine. So let's tell it to do a slime. Go. And there we are. Main menu. I'll fix that interdiction thingy in a minute here. Let's turn the grinders off for a minute, and we're going to activate the spawner. Yeah, that interdiction matrix thing is annoying, isn't it? I'll figure that out eventually. So spawner, within a few seconds we should see only large slimes spawning. In theory. Oh, why are they green? They should be green. Oh, it's probably this one, Mine Factory Reloaded. Yeah, it's probably got a funny name to it. So let's toggle that out of there. That should be the pink slimes. Hey, there they are. Cool. And the grinders are grinding away. Cool. So I'm going to set exact copy to no, because I really don't need them to be exact. And we can go to the main menu here and turn off the spawner and turn on the grinders. Alright. Nice knowing you guys. That's cool. All the pink slime balls I'll ever need. Yeah, I'm guessing that it's somehow behind the scenes got a funny name to it. So, unfortunately, it's not perfect, but there's nothing I can do about it. And door closed. And you guys can go in here, that's fine. So we've got even more pink slime balls. So what are we going to do with them? Time for some lasers. So the lasers that we want to make are pretty neat. So there's a laser drill from Mine Factory Loaded, and you have to place that either over bedrock or the void. So it's going to work in our dimension here, but we could throw it in the overworld over bedrock or pretty much wherever you want. And we can have the laser drill pre-charger. This guy's what's going to power your drill. So we're going to make one of these for now. So we're definitely going to need a couple glowstone illuminators. For the pre-charger, we're going to need one. And I want 4 pre-chargers, so we're going to need a total of 6 glowstone illuminators. So we're going to need 1,000 millibuckets of glowstone and an illuminator frame, which shouldn't be too hard. I just need some silver nuggets. So let's get these guys real quick. Glowstone illuminators, by the way, are a cool light source. Hardened glass. Just get 20 of them to be easy. And while that's working, why don't I get some glowstone? Am I out of glowstone? That's right, I'm out of glowstone. To the Nether I go. I was charging my wand because I had to use it to make those gadgets earlier. Equal trade focus. Let's get some cobblestone. I will be back in a minute after I go through the process of collecting a whole ton of glowstone. Or at least, hopefully, a whole ton. Back in a minute. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but this is seriously the only way to glowstone. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, right? I'm just being picky by grabbing all of them, but I mean, you could just kind of zip by, grab them all, and leave a few behind. It's not that big a deal. Definitely the best way to get glowstone. So that took all of about 5 minutes. So in order to use this stuff, let's find magma crucible. We get 250 millibuckets. So if I want 6 buckets, it's 4 times 6, right? So that should be 24. That should get me 6 buckets worth. So magma crucible, you go in there, and we'll be back when this is done. Alright guys, so I think I've got everything I need to make the laser drill pre-charger, and off camera I just did something real quick. I noticed I really had no way of processing ferrous ore. Really the only way you can handle that is by smelting it directly or throwing it in a pulverizer. It doesn't have a recipe for the macerator, so because I'm doing all my ore doubling with IC2, I was never processing any ferrous ore. So I real quick hooked up an export bus with ferrous ore here, and then I have an export bus with pulverized ferrous ore here, and then there's import buses on the back pulling out whatever's, you know, crafted. The main reason I did this is because we were actually out of shiny dust. I went to create a tesseract and realized I was out of shiny dust. So by doing this, we're able to get shiny dust once again, so that's kind of helpful. Anyway, back to laser drills. So let's make a laser drill. Boom. And we've got 2 of these guys, and we just want 1 laser drill, but then we want some laser drill pre-chargers. We're going to want like 4 of these. I believe that's the max you can have. And then while we're at it, we want some redstone energy cells. And how am I for the tesseracts? Oh, cool. I have 3. I want 1 more. So now we shouldn't have a problem anymore with the shiny metal dust that we did not have earlier. That's where we got stuck. I wanted 4 tesseracts, believe it or not. So let's see if I can get this whole crazy system ready to go. Alright, so I want to access the resonant energy cells, and I want to be able to get as much power out of them as possible. So that means I had to move my NOT gate setup here. So let's see if I can not mess this up. Cool. So in, and out. Cool, that looks good. Awesome. Good. No nether star in there. We're okay. So what I want to do, basically, is remember I told you guys that you can only transmit 10,000 RF per tick output, right? Now these crazy contraptions, the laser drill pre-chargers, each use about 5,000 per tick, I believe, or 20,000 RF per tick is what the laser drill is capped at, because the pre-chargers use 5,000 RF per tick, right? Cool. So that sounds good. So what I could really have if I wanted to, and see if you follow my logic on this, if I want to get 20,000 RF per tick flowing through this tesseract, and we're going to call it frequency 5 is water, frequency 6 then, let's call it, yeah, 6, that sounds good, and we will call it high power. Check and check. And you are going to be sending energy, okay? And we're going to set this guy there and there. And then I want to do the same thing. It should be capable of doing it all on one frequency, but I kind of want to test that because I'm almost not positive about it. So we're going to call this high power as well. But your job is also to send, and you're not going to do anything with these guys. So sending energy check, and you, and you. And let's just make sure that both of these are set to output from the front, like that, and from the bottom. So front and bottom are outputting energy. So now we should be capable of transmitting 10,000 RF per side, so a total of 20,000 RF per tesseract here. So a total of 40,000 RF? I believe that's the case. And I said you can use 5,000 RF. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's set up, where do I want my laser drills to be? You really want them to be in a place that you might not accidentally be walking. So what I'm thinking is, let's build a platform here. Alright, so here's the gist. You ready? Right here I'm going to have my laser drill. Cool. This guy is capable of receiving all kinds of power. And there's some foci here, which we'll get into in a minute. And then we want to place down our prechargers. And that's the wrong way. So basically you want to place them down like that, so that, there we go. We've got energy beams flowing into them. Now those energy beams are currently not being powered, which is pretty unfortunate. We want power flowing into them. So we're going to need a tesseract. Boom. So let's pop this guy down on high power, and you're set to receive energy. High power check, and we're going to run some power into you. Boom and boom. So this guy is getting 0 energy. Why might that be? You should be receiving energy. Receiving energy. That's what I did over here, right? Receiving energy. Did I derp downstairs? Let's see. Let's actually turn these off for a minute because I want to be here when they kick on. So disable. Disable. You're both set to receive energy. I did set these to send energy, right? Or am I total derp? No, you're sending energy. Alright, what am I doing wrong? Give me a second to figure it out. It might be that it's enabled low. So let's set this guy to ignore redstone signals. Because I bet there's a redstone signal, well, maybe close enough to be affecting it. If that's the case, that could explain it. So we'll also set this guy to ignore redstone and go. Are you getting power now? No. Alright, back in a minute. Ignore high power, yep. Nothing. Alright, wait a minute guys, I think I have an idea here. It might be a redstone signal on the redstone energy cells. They might be set to not output when they're receiving a redstone signal. So it might be a redstone signal passing over them. That's probably it. That's gotta be it. Right? So let's activate this guy in high power, which by the way, when testing I switched to frequency 7. Oh, now we've got juice flowing. Nice. So we can activate high power, go, and these guys should be getting power now. Alright, so they are struggling to maintain. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Because also in testing, I disabled this side of things. So my main purpose here is figuring out if this thing can transmit more power. So let's see. You're full, you're full. Nice, we're getting stuff already. You're full, that's what I'm talking about. Ouch. So let's get a chest here and see what's up. You know, I'll probably want an iron chest. Oh boy, we're already getting tons of stuff. Oh yeah, and like I said, be careful about standing in the beams. They hurt. So far we've gotten lapis, we've gotten iron, and we've gotten glowstone ore. You can kind of see the progress bar here. So, I mean, it looks like it's going pretty quick, actually. We've got a lot of energy getting pumped into this thing. Nice. So, I think this is the limit to how much energy is allowed to be pumped into it. It's actually 9,600 MJ. Or, yeah. So, okay. 96,000 RF. Wow, that's a lot of RF. I don't know what the tick time is, like how much per tick. I think it's 5,000 per tick that these things use. So we're obviously, you know, doing pretty well. Now, if you want to focus and determine a specific type of ore, so by the way, you'll get tons of different types of ores. Pretty much any ore in the game should show up in this chest. And it's random which ones you'll get, but we can use some foci to narrow down exactly what we want. So we're going to check that out next episode, I think. Unfortunately, we've hit the wrapping up point for this episode. So, for now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed checking this out. An alternate way for us to get lots of different stuff, and as you can see, we're getting tons of it. I'll show you next time how to use the foci. It's pretty easy, not too hard to do. And then what we'll do is there's a couple things I want to build, but they need a lot of a certain resource. And like I said, I didn't want to go through the process of creating another bee to produce that resource, because we've kind of already looked at bees, and you know what? This will work pretty well. Speaking of, how many diamonds do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 stacks? Well, a little bit more than 4 stacks of diamonds. Thank you, bee. You're doing a good job. All right, guys. Like I said, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.